Hello, my name is Hur Kwang. I'm so pleased to talk about an interesting issue. Should a city try to preserve old historic buildings or destroy them and replace them with modern buildings? What's the answer? I'm going to tell you about destruction of modern architectural heritages and find some solutions to save them. In this day and age, we are losing the pieces of the past. It's urgent issues to destroy old buildings in small towns. Let me deal with various points, such as how many old buildings have been destroyed by far. Why should we preserve old buildings? And how to preserve them, and so on. I'll begin by saying three main points. First main point is how many old buildings disappeared so far. Put quite simply, how many people know about the destruction in my town? Anybody out here old enough to know these problems? If you turn your attention to this slide, you will see how many old buildings disappeared forever. My hometown Wonju is the historic and beautiful small town with a population of 300,000. Back in the day, there were many old buildings. However, most of them disappeared for good. Up to now, only 35 old buildings survived, and only 5 buildings were registered as a cultural heritage. It is due to cultural police to focusing on many ancient buildings. It's indisputable that architectural heritage is a valuable cultural asset. Nevertheless, I've lost count of the number of the old buildings pushed away by apartment, office buildings, shopping malls, factory sites, and so forth. To my surprise, it is shocking that there is no statistics or survey on the destruction of our old buildings. This is caused by the fact that old buildings is considered as valued as new convenient new buildings. In the end, so many historic buildings will be vanished into history for good. Probably over the past decade, many of the other buildings also may go out of sight. We are more and more into the convenient life. On the other hand, many people forget that how serious the problems are. Second main point is why we should preserve old buildings. First of all, I'm going to go over the regions in regards to the cultural and historic views. The first region is that historic architectural characteristics are remind of the past. Second, historic buildings stand for long time. Don't forget this point. So, old structures give a sense of history for residents. Final reason is that people living in an old town develop sense of community that is not often found in a new modernized city. Next, let me explain the regions from the tourist attraction view. It's clear that historic buildings are tourism asset with higher value, so we can attract much more foreign tourists. At the same time, all the buildings add diversity to the scenery of the town. Final main point is how to preserve all the buildings. I think the basic answer is that we must all the buildings as value, not price. Namely, it's of great importance that we must change the way we think about all the buildings. Firstly, let me find some effective solutions to save them by civil movement. Number one, all residents in town have to be interested in all the buildings. Number two, it's necessary that we need to build up civil drive. Last, citizens groups have to be aggressively take part in this campaign. I believe that these efforts will be great, will get excellent results. Next, I'll talk about useful methods by government. It's very important that the government make an actual survey on the whole old buildings in town. Moreover, it's vital to find unknown old buildings and register them as cultural heritages. And last step is benchmarking study on foreign countries. Have you ever been Paris in France? The government limits recklessly grows by restricting the number of buildings permit issues. History once said that land belongs to its owner, but structure on it belongs to the public. And this means everyone has a right to enjoy history and buildings. In a nutshell, most old buildings contain the spirit of the age beyond physical spaces. I told you about preserving old buildings. I want to finish with saying 3 main points. First, how many buildings have been destroyed? Second, why should we save them? And last, how to preserve them. Do you get it? My interest lies in preserving old buildings and passing them to next generation. This is my hope. We've been damaging so many old buildings for the past century. If we will continue to do this, it will cause serious problems. Once history is destroyed and torn down, it's impossible to restore them. Successful saving old buildings depends on our affection and efforts. It's time to wrap up. I'll leave you with the following wise saying. People construct buildings. The buildings form a city. The city creates culture and history. Thanks for your time.